Okay, I guess I'm live now. So, let me check my audio once again. So basically what I am going to do today is it's just a short stream about learning art. Thanks to pikat, which is one of my inspirations of actually just starting art. So I'm gonna just watch one of her videos, which is hopefully gonna help me along the way of what I can do next, because currently I only learned a bit about perspectives and drawing boxes, but I haven't deconstructed like images according to their shapes and what give me a moment. I haven't deconstructed any pictures based on what shapes they can be made out of, which is probably one of the steps I should take soon to improve my art, which currently isn't much to look at. So let's check the audio first and then let's watch the video.
Do you want to learn how to draw better? So you do a bit of searching on how to get better at art and wait, Draw boxes? You want to draw this, don't you?
Okay. The audio is good, and now we can start over. Okay, nice. Okay. Let's start.
Do you want to learn how to draw better? So you do a bit of
I
searching
do.
on how to get better at art and
That's why I'm here.
Draw boxes? You want to draw this, not this? Why is everyone telling you to draw boxes? Besides, boxes are easy. You already know how to draw them. You've done it before. It's like this, right? What even is the point of... Okay, don't worry. If this is something you've been curious about, I'll explain why people keep telling us to draw boxes. In fact, I'd even say that drawing boxes is the most effective art practice I've ever done. I know it sounds crazy, but let me explain how it works. Let's start with a common exercise that people often tell you to do if you want to practice drawing. You find a reference and then you break it down into simple shapes. It's a great exercise, and if you keep doing this, you'll gradually learn to draw bodies better, right? Except sometimes it just doesn't seem to work for some reason. Take a look at the torso, for instance. Sometimes it's this shape, but other times it's this shape. Which shape is it actually? Or the arm? How long is this rectangle supposed to be, actually? It just never really seems very consistent. So, as good as this exercise is, at some point, you're going to have to upgrade the way you think about it. Here's what I mean. Take a look. Instead of thinking of them as 2D shapes that keep changing all the time, try thinking of them as 3D shapes rotating in space. This is why drawing boxes is so important. It helps you develop this intuition in 3D space. And you might be thinking, okay, that's cool, and I already know how to draw boxes, so next topic.
Yeah, kinda.
And if you do, great. But just to double check, do you really? It's not
really.
like I'm doubting you, but let me just share my own experiences. For years and years, I was 100% certain that I did not need to do this exercise. I already knew how. I thought it was easy, right? Then I actually tried it and I was immediately humbled. It's actually way harder than it looks. If you're not sure, here's a quick test just to check. Go ahead and freehand a cube. Remember to draw through it so you can see the back plane as well.
Wait, what?
And also remember, it's supposed to be a cube,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
not just any rectangular prism. So every face of this cube should be a square. Now, there are two things you can check. First, you want to make sure that your box actually looks like a cube. You want all your sides to look like they're the same length. This is important, but I'll explain why later. Next, take a ruler or a straight line tool and extend 4 lines on your cube, like this. You
Wait.
should ideally...
Okay, where's my light tool? Okay, it looks like you extend each set of parallel lines. Extend each set of parallel lines to converge to a point. So.
Converge to a point, or at least in the same general area.
Oof. Probably ist gut. Ooh. Oh boy. Okay, I officially suck at drawing boxes.
This is to make sure that you're properly drawing your cube in perspective.
God
If your
fucking
cube
damn it.
meets both conditions, congratulations, you can draw a box. If not, well, check out about the topic. I'll also leave some helpful resources in
Yeah.
the description. But
First, I'm gonna check that video out again.
How do you actually start drawing human figures once you learn how to draw
Oof.
boxes? Take a look at this breakdown. It's recognizably a human figure, albeit very simplified.
Very
See the
boxy.
ribcage and the pelvis? These are definitely boxes. Keep in mind that this is not the only way you can simplify these structures. For instance, a lot of people like using an egg or a bean shape for the ribcage. I personally prefer boxes because it lets me see the front and side planes very clearly. The orientation of the ribcage becomes very clear this way. If there's a twist in the body, it can be clearly seen through the difference in orientation of the ribcage and the pelvis. Capturing these subtle differences in angle are important for expressing the energy and essence of a pose. Okay, that's fine and all, but there's still one really big question. How long or thick are these boxes supposed to be? For example, the ribcage, like this or this? So here's where being able to draw accurate cubes becomes important. Before I go into this, let me talk a little bit about proportion. There are lots of ways to measure, but one popular way of doing it is using Andrew Loomis's method. Basically, you can just use the height of a human head as a point of reference to measure the rest of the body, and the human body is approximately 8 heads tall, which is, well, a little bit taller than normal, but you can vary this proportion, but I really like 8 because, well, it divides out very cleanly. So you can figure out the location of various landmarks by the number of heads. For example, the elbows are 3 heads down. As for width, it's 2 1/3 heads wide. That's a bit hard for me to remember, so I just usually go with 2 heads and make the arms go past that just a little bit. So this way of measuring is pretty easy to understand if the pose isn't too complicated. But what should you do if you want to draw the human body at an angle? Well, you know that if you rotate a rectangular prism towards you, it looks shorter. So you just need to make this measuring scale shorter, right? Like this? Unfortunately, that's not quite right. Here's how I would do it. Okay, check it out. First, draw a cube. Then, find the center point of one.
Okay. First, draw a cube. Okay, this one needs to be sharp. Sharper. I'm so doomed. Okay, now from here to about here. And about here. Now back down again. Like here, then a bit up. Is it here? I think it's here. Oof.
One face of the cube. You can do this by connecting the core.
Damn it. Okay, I need to go back to the drawing board and learn how to draw cubes. If I don't learn how to draw boxes, I'm pretty screwed in the future. But also maybe more practice on drawing lines. Drawing straight lines. Okay, now draw next on my face. Shit, it should have been. Been like here. I am bad at drawing boxes. Let's go. Yeah, probably gonna continue on first day with just drawing boxes. Some chill music in the background. Oops, that's my box drawing practice thing. Which is actually pretty neat. Where this is the original, and based on that, I just drew the guidelines just to practice drawing straight lines, which is this one, but this one, but it's pretty faint. So I've got some guidelines, and I've got the original boxes to just trace for now, and then I just after making some points on the thing, I just draw them by hand and practice my straight lines and also how to draw boxes in perspective. I think it's a pretty good guideline. I've also got that one from one of Pika's videos that she got from another artist, which I don't remember the name of right now. But yeah, okay. That is a bad box. Whatever. You draw an X on the face. I'm gonna draw an X on the face. From here to here. It's not straight. Okay, can I no from here to here? From here to here. That's not. Okay.
Corners of that face and drawing an X on it. Then, extend 3 lines from the face of the cube, 2 from the edges and 1 from
Okay.
the center. Now,
Ooh.
draw a line from...
Okay, extend lines. Maybe extend straight lines. Whoosh. Whoosh. The bottom line isn't right, but okay. Okay, whoosh. And from middle. Okay.
from one corner of the cube through the middle like this until it hits the opposite line. Then you just draw the end of the box like this, and there you have it. It's a rectangular prism where one edge is 2 times longer than the others. And if you keep doing this, you'll eventually be able to draw that same Loomis proportion grid, but this time in perspective, which you can use to measure the proportions of the body in 3D. I know this might all seem rather pointless and tedious just to divide. Keep doing this, you'll eventually be able to draw that, and there you have it. It's a rectangle.
Ooh. Here and now I just whoosh, whoosh, and I've got another cube. That's cool. That's cool.
Angular prism where one edge is 2 times longer than the others. And if you keep doing this, you'll eventually be able to draw that same Loomis proportion grid, but this time in.
Gosh. Okay, that's cool. And if I practice as wait. Do and then if I practice this, I could theoretically start drawing more complex shapes and more accurately, not just from hand. And if I practice it enough, I could also draw those from hand one day. I just have to stay persistent. That's not straight at all. Oh boy. I am so cooked. Whoosh. Whoosh. Okay. I need to learn how to draw straight lines again. Oh my gosh. I don't think I'm doing enough practice. Like 3 times a week might not be enough. Especially if it's like 30 to 60 minutes at best. Also, I need to learn my freaking shortcuts. Oh my gosh. My shortcuts. Okay, this is straight and yeah, that's okay. Boom. This one. Genau, but do I just okay? Jetzt hier dann push, push. Wait, how did she?
Perspective. Keep doing rectangular prism. Eventually be able to draw that same Loomis proportion grid, but this time. From here just straight. From here just straight up here. And here. So next one. I just push, push. So theoretically like this, if only I drew my lines straighter. Oh, my head hurts. Oh boy. Okay. Whoosh. 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 So basically kind of like this. But oh boy. Let me. Straight. Okay, again. Straight. Oh boy, this is gonna take a while.
way in a straight line. Can I just... Can we straight if I just do it quickly? Damn. Oh, boy. Let me do it slowly instead. Oh, the fat curve. Oh, boy. Yeah. I am so doomed. I need to go back to basic practice. My hand hurts. Oh boy, I need to build some stamina. Oh, if I press control and... Ah, okay. Also, it's not... Fuck. This is frustrating. My own skill is one line, please. For the love of God. Okay. Okay. My perfectionism is... Okay. How to... Oh god, okay. Let's just...
Time in perspective, which you can use to measure the proportions of the body in 3D. I know this might all seem rather pointless and tedious just to divide up a box into 8 sections, and you might not need to do this. If you're able to eyeball it accurately, great. But if we're talking about personal experiences, I know
Wait, 8 boxes. Oh, it was 8 boxes. Okay, wait. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. Okay, one more. Whoosh. And whoosh. Yeah. 8.
Wasn't able to do that, and I'm still not able to. So for me, it's safer and more accurate to just do it into 8 sections, and you might not need to do this. If you're able to eyeball it accurately, great.
One day.
But if we're talking about personal experiences, I know I wasn't able to do that, and I'm still not able to. So for me, it's safer and more accurate to just take the time to measure it out accurately. One really important key
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh shit, I should have. I should have drawn the lines on another layer. Oof. Okay, whatever, I'm just gonna. Whoosh. Wait. Still got the erase on. I am so screwed.
key point is that if you pay attention to the divisions of this proportion grid, they aren't evenly spaced on the page. You see, as it moves away from the viewer, the divisions get closer and closer together. So hopefully, by now, you know how to draw accurate boxes of all shapes and sizes. But hang on a second, there's more than just boxes here. What about these? These are cylinders. But what if I told you that one of the easiest ways to draw accurate cylinders in 3D space is with boxes? Okay, well, considering the topic of this video, maybe that wasn't very surprising at all. Anyway, one thing I'm particularly bad at drawing is circles. My usual strategy is just to try over and over until I eventually get lucky and one circle comes out alright. Not exactly the smartest way to do it, but hey, if it works, right? But if I need the circle to be more accurate, another thing I do is that I start by drawing a square. I separate it into 4 and carefully draw a curve in each quadrant. This strategy is particularly helpful if I need to draw a circle in perspective, i.e. an ellipse. I still can't freehand an ellipse, by the way. So that means if you want to draw a cylinder of a certain length, all you need to do is draw ellipses on 2 planes of the box and connect them up, like this. Okay, after practicing a bunch, maybe now you have a boxy kind of mannequin that you can draw in a lot of different poses. It kinda looks like a human figure, but how do you start adding detail on top of it? Well, here's where you have to start relying on your anatomy knowledge. Although memorizing all the bones and muscles is great, it takes a long time to build up that knowledge. So you can start by applying what you know about the general shape of the human body first. For example, you might know that the wrist is generally narrower than the rest of the arm because there's less muscle and fat there, so you can taper your cylinders a little bit to show that. Or you can widen the upper torso because the back muscles tend to make the upper back broader than the lower back. Once you learn the individual muscles, then you can start drawing them individually on top of your mannequin.
Oh
Let's take a look at
boy.
this arm. You can start by sketching the form of the deltoid or shoulder muscle, like this. And that's how you gradually start building up the
crazy.
body in perspective, bit by bit. So while these mannequins are great,
Everything
to
step by step just
isn't it
stacks
kind of
up.
a pain having to draw all these boxes and cylinders just to
Ooh.
erase them all in the end? Surely there must be some kind of faster way to do it, right? I'm sure many of you have seen time lapses where most artists just seem to skip this step. So what's the secret? Well,
Practice.
not a secret, actually. But here's how
Practice,
it works for me anyway.
practice.
When you're first starting out learning something new, drawing out every single step is a useful thing to do. Think of it like showing your work when you're solving a difficult maths problem. However, as you start to gain familiarity through practice and repetition, you can eventually start doing those steps in your head, even if you don't write them out. It works the same way with drawing. Even if you don't draw out those steps, you're still going through them mentally. Which is why I felt that drawing these box mannequins wasn't a waste of time. Anyway, I hope this video was useful to someone out there. It might not be helpful to everyone, but hopefully sharing my own experiences will still give people some perspective. If it was, please consider drawing the subscribe button as a box. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you next time. Bye-bye!
I'm doomed. I am doomed. Okay. I've got to do more drawing practice on boxes. Which I'm gonna do on first day, so okay. Gotta go back to basics of basics. Smile. Maybe I should draw them bigger. Oh boy. Okay, I guess I'm gonna end here today because I have to go to sleep soon. Okay, I guess this is good night. And pikat is very awesome. One of my inspirations of actually trying out digital art. And if someone's actually watching this, then I highly recommend checking her out. She's got some very good videos on art and how to start. So, yeah, let me just turn off window capture of Chrome. Let me just link the video. Speakers go from the boxes to bodies. That's the video. So just check out if you're interested. I'm very thankful for her that she's releasing these videos so that a scrub like me, without any talent in art, can also start learning it. So if I persist, then just keep grinding, just keep drawing, day by day. One day I can also do some very good art. One day I can also draw some anime ditties. One day for sure. Okay, I guess that's it. Yeah, well, I hope you have a nice evening, afternoon, or whatever you have now. See you around. Have a nice day.